We all know that Amazon is the largest online retailer in the world. Originally founded by Jeffrey Bezos July 5th, 1994 in Bellevue, Washington as an online bookstore. You can bet that Bezos wasn't partying on July 4th like most other Americans. Instead, he set out to create something that would eventually change the world and our everyday lives. Brick and mortars are now dying out. Meanwhile, online retail is absolutely thriving. Amazon, guided by two specific principles, operational optimization and customer focus, now dominates the online retail space, and in 2021 alone, generated $469 billion in revenue. When looking to start an online store, it's no wonder people are looking to Amazon as a place to hang their hat. With over 310 million daily active users and over 66,000 items shipped every single hour, an absolute powerhouse in e-commerce. And because of the large user base and demand it already generates, the main difference between starting a store on Amazon and a store on something like Shopify or equivalent is you really don't have to do any marketing. You simply just need to list products that already have enough demand, and your inventory is basically guaranteed to sell out, making your life as a seller so much more simple. But the question that we're answering today, is starting an Amazon FBA store still worth it in 2022? And for those of you who don't know already, FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon. Basically what it means is that you take your inventory that you purchased from your supplier, you ship it to Amazon's warehouse, and they do all the fulfillment for you and deliver it to your customers. And I want to give it to you straight this video, so if you just want the answer, here you are. I'm going to give it to you in a couple seconds. But if you want to hear my reasoning as to why, how much money I've been able to generate, and some of the struggles that I've run into along the way, feel free to stick around to the end of the video and maybe even drop a like and subscribe. That would be pretty cool too. So here we are. Is starting a FBA store still worth it in 2022? My honest answer is yes, but it's not without its challenges, and it's not all sunshine and rainbows. So like I said, I will be going over the challenges and things that I've had to overcome during my journey in the last couple of weeks. If you guys know me already and know my experience with selling on Amazon, you would know that I do have some prior experience, and I've been tinkering with being an Amazon seller for well over a year now. I started off by designing and selling Grumpy Cat mugs that I had made through a print-on-demand service called Printify. I ran ads on Amazon for a couple months and generated a couple $100s in sales, which allowed me to get some reviews and eventually turn off ads to where I was able to get a couple of sales a month passively. At the time, I had a few other products that I had designed and listed on Amazon and Etsy, but the Grumpy Cat mugs were by far the best seller, funny enough. And really, it was a fun little experiment that showed me the potential to earn money online and become a full-time seller. I started this experiment over the holidays of 2020 as I had taken a couple weeks off of work at the time with the solar company I owned. But after the holidays were over, I figured it was probably best that I go back to focusing full-time on my solar company, and I really just let my online store generate a couple sales a month passively for the next 8 months or so. Meanwhile, the solar company was scaling up pretty aggressively, and we got it to the point where our installer actually wanted to merge with us. And shortly after the merger, I ended up leaving, which left me with some downtime again. And during this downtime, I tried Amazon dropshipping. I remember watching this one YouTube video by Joey Gal, I believe his name is, titled "I Tried Amazon Dropshipping for a Week." And it's a great video. I recommend you go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below. But it totally opened my eyes on just how easy it is to find products that are already selling on Amazon, click "I have one too," and relist it on my own store. And I mean, it's mind-blowing how easy it is once you get the hang of it. So at this point, since I didn't really have a job, I would spend hours a day researching products, finding products that had a high seller's rank, didn't have a ton of competition, and I was just relisting them on my own store. And the best part was, as you guys probably know with dropshipping, I didn't have to purchase any inventory until a customer actually placed an order. And I was able to use big box retailers from the United States, such as Home Depot and Walmart, so I wasn't having to deal with shipping timelines from China or something like that. And pretty soon after, I started generating quite a few sales. I mean, sometimes as much as 10 plus in a day. And it allowed me to generate over $20,000 in sales revenue in just about 5 or 6 months. And I know what you're thinking, it sounds pretty incredible, right? Well, come to find out, it wasn't quite as easy as it seemed. Shocking. Pretty soon I started seeing that suppliers were canceling my orders left and right. Turns out many suppliers don't like the idea of you purchasing an item and shipping it to a different address that's different than the billing address, and they tend to label you as a reseller internally. All right, we're in a new location, got kicked out of the home office, but had to make sure I finished this video up and get it to you guys. All right, so what ended up happening is I contacted my suppliers and I spent a couple hours asking them questions, trying to understand why they're canceling my orders, and wasn't really getting a straight answer from them until they told me that it's your bank canceling the order. So I contact my bank and I spend multiple hours with them asking why they're canceling my orders. And they told me that they're not, and it must be the supplier. So really it just became this big finger pointing game, and it's really stressful having to deal with that. So bottom line is, if you are going to drop ship on Amazon, I would recommend doing your best to avoid picking suppliers that are known to cancel on resellers. I've actually accumulated a short list of suppliers that are known to do so. So I'll include that in the description below if that's helpful. But if you guys want another video on everything I learned while dropshipping on Amazon, like the suppliers I use, the different softwares that I think are helpful, I'd be happy to make another video on it. Just let me know in the comments below. I think there's definitely a right way to do this business model. It just takes finding the right suppliers, getting your software set up in a way so you're not having to do as much manual tasks every day, and probably getting a VA that can fulfill your orders, because when you're getting 10 plus orders in a day, it can become a lot of work. So after about 6 months of drop shipping on Amazon, I found myself incredibly busy fulfilling orders and also being the director of sales for a startup real estate company. And I decided I just couldn't juggle both any longer. I took about a 3-month break, and that leads us to today. I started my FBA journey at the beginning of August in order to fulfill my goal of becoming financially free before the end of the year. And I went into it 100% certain that this was the right way to sell on Amazon, and it would fix all the issues that I ran into while dropshipping on Amazon. However, it's been quite a bit more difficult than I had originally anticipated, of course. So on August 1st, I started researching products, purchasing them, shipping them to my house, relabeling, packaging, shipping them to Amazon. And since then, I've generated a total of $270 in sales, which out of that is a total of $38.40 in profit. And overall, they're not super impressive numbers. I'll be the first to tell you. But I still believe in the business model, and I do think it's scalable. It's just taking a little bit longer than drop shipping, where I was able to scale up to over $5,000 in sales my first month. Here's what I like about it so far. Amazon handles the logistics of getting the products to the customers. They ship it, they label it, they process your returns. All of that is hands off. The customer is able to receive the fastest shipping timelines, and because you're doing FBA, you're also able to service Amazon Prime customers. You're also able to order bulk amounts of products and ship it straight to your house so that you can relabel it, ship it off to Amazon, which in my experience has helped me with not getting my orders canceled, since the billing address and the shipping address are the same. Now, here are the drawbacks that I found. Packaging and relabeling your orders is a drag. It's time consuming and it's not easy work. On top of this, you will need to purchase some repackaging materials. For me personally, I've had to purchase clear plastic poly bags, and they have a label that says a choking hazard on it. And if you are bundling items, you'll need to purchase stickers that say do not separate. They're not super expensive, but it is an investment into your business essentially. Fortunately, you can most times reuse the cardboard box that your items were sent in. I haven't had to purchase boxes yet, so that is a plus. Now, you can completely mitigate this work by partnering with a repackaging center. If you are going to do this, I would recommend partnering with one that's in a sales tax-free state, so you get rid of all the sales tax on the items that you purchase. But in the beginning of your FBA journey, it probably doesn't make sense to partner with one. From my experience, there's usually some sort of sign-up fee, and you have to be doing volume for it to really make sense. I actually found a list of repackaging warehouses all over the US, and it specifically outlines ones that are in sales tax-free states, so I'll include that in the description below if that's also helpful. Another issue I found is the cost of time, and what I mean by that is it takes time to purchase your items, ship it to your house, repackage, relabel, ship to Amazon, have them process it in their warehouse, and on average, I've seen it takes anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. Meanwhile, there can be significant price movement on your listing. And in some cases, it just negates some of your profits. But in other cases, it's gotten rid of my profits altogether and I'm in the red. And that's frustrating. I'm also currently dealing with a lost shipment of inventory with Amazon, and this shipment contained $320 worth of inventory. It's not a ton, but it is something that is a little scary. Fortunately, I was able to process a claim with them, and they refunded me pretty quickly, and they processed it pretty quickly. But at the end of the day, it's not ideal, and what happens if it doesn't go in my favor for whatever reason? And due to the delays in this process and the price movement that some of my listings have had, I'm still sitting on about $1,000 worth of inventory that has yet to be sold. My strategy here was to place a number of small test orders on about 5 or 6 listings and see how each one performs. And once one starts to do well, I would double down and order more of that product. And so far, I've only sold one type of item. Fortunately, it has completely sold out. So I most likely will be doubling down and ordering more of this product. So overall, I like the business model, but I'm not loving it. Again, I do think there's still potential in it, and there's potential to scale up and make a ton of money. I know there's a ton of influencers that have done it. I just haven't quite cracked the code yet. And who knows? I mean, maybe dropshipping is the better business model for me. But my goal with this financial freedom journey and making these videos is to not give you any fluff and to not make it sound like I'm more successful in any of these projects that I'm taking on. I've committed to giving you guys the honest truth about the ups and downs that come along with this process. And if I have successes, then great, I'll share my success. If I have mediocre results like I did on this project so far, same thing, I'm gonna share my results. But I'm staying motivated and I still feel like I'm on track to reach my financial freedom goal by the end of the year. So that's it for now. If you have any comments, questions, leave them down in the comments below. If you want to suggest ideas for other videos, they're always welcomed, and I take every comment into consideration and I try my best to respond to every comment that's left on these videos. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.